next guest is an Emmy-winning television host and celebrity chef who is serving up a one-pot meaty tomato mac and cheese. That is so good. Look at that. From her latest cookbook, Carla Hall's Soul Food, please welcome back the one and only, you know her, Carla Hall.
This is amazing. I love being in this house.
Do you love it? I mean, it's a lovely home.
It is. I mean, there are holes in the ceilings, but there's.
It's a little tricky, but we have great weather here in Southern California, so we usually don't have to contend with the rain. As you can see, Cam and Paigey and Kent are waiting patiently for your delicious, I call it a beefy mac, because my best friend's mom used to call it beefy mac. Hey, Judy, Theophanis.
Hey, Judy, I'm not mad at you.
Okay, good old Judy, she was so fun. Now, before we get started, I'd love to know, because you know we've seen you on so many countless things and enjoyed watching you and enjoyed your zest for cooking and your love for cooking for your friends and family. And I wonder, where did that come from?
The answer is going to surprise you. I started cooking in Paris with a bunch of models for Sunday supper, and everybody was cooking and they're like, well, my mother does it like this, or my mother does it like that. And I'm like, I have no idea what happens in this room, because I'm like, you call me when the dinner bell rings and I'm there, right? I was not cooking, and then I started buying cookbooks, and then I started cooking for people, allowing me to couch surf on their couches. So it was a gratitude thing that I was doing. It was really gratitude cooking.
That is so lovely. How
Great
wonderful.
story. That's,
I think the most shocking thing about that is that models actually eat.
I saw them. I saw them.
I'd love to hear it. And they ate your meaty mac and cheese, which I'm very excited about. So it starts with just making some macaroni.
Yeah, make some macaroni, cook it about 1 or 2 minutes less than the box cooking time, because you're going to put it back into the hot sauce and it's going to continue to cook, and you don't want it to be mushy. So that's the first thing.
Okay, so we set it aside and then we make our sauce. What do we have going on over there?
All right, so here we already have the meat that's brown, ground beef.
Okay.
And I always say there's flavor in the brown, okay? That's the first place to get your flavor, right? So you want to cook it, you don't want any gray meat. So we have our beef, we have our onions and garlic here.
And you have them separated.
Right, I have them separated because I made the beef and I pushed it over to the side. And then I cooked my onions because I wanted to make sure that I didn't have raw onions in the beef. A lot of times people will do that.
if you make them together, you get raw onions there. Good tip.
Do you do that?
Well, I'm not going to do it anymore.
Yeah, because I was going to say stop it.
I will now. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on it.
So now I have some tomato paste. And I'm going to put the tomato paste in over here on the onion side, and I'm going to cook the tomato paste. When you are opening a tin of tomato paste, it tastes really tinny and very concentrated. So you want to make sure that you are actually cooking your tomato paste, very much like we're going to do when we do flour.
Right.
I did not know that.
Tomato paste is such an awesome ingredient. If
I
you
knew
use
that.
it correctly, oh my gosh, it could change everything.
It could change everything.
Everything. The Greeks use it in everything.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but out of the tin, and then you cook it with the onions and the garlic first before anything else. I mean, this is blowing my mind a
So
little.
right over here, you're starting to smell all of that goodness, right? And it gets sort of that orangey color. Now we're going to mix everything in.
Okay.
You
It's
can't
happening.
overcook your beef.
You cannot.
You cannot. You really cannot. All of those beautiful bits of char and the brown bits that's called the fawn, that is going to make flavor. There's flavor in the brown.
Yeah,
I'm just not talking about my skin color.
That's right.
Flavor in the brown.
All right, fond to fond.
All right, so cayenne pepper, for a little bit of spice. We've got some mustard powder that's going to accent our cheese and make it taste sharper. And then we have some paprika.
Oh, nice. And smoked paprika?
Yeah, so you can do smoked or plain or sweet, right? Okay, so here we have this.
Oh, that looks good on its own.
I know.
Now, you want to make sure that you toast the spices, right?
Right.
If you don't toast the spices, they're going to taste raw and it's not good.
Right.
So now what I'm going to do is add in a little bit of that butter.
Just right in the middle?
Yep, right in the middle. We're going to melt that, because what we're doing now is building the fat that we're going to use for our roux. So equal parts fat and flour. So we're getting
And look at that. Look at you pulling up all that yummy
all
stuff
those
off
yummy
the bottom.
bits, right? And now for the flour, sprinkle the flour around.
Okay, around all of it?
Yep.
Okay, and I know it's important to toast this too, right?
Exactly, because you don't want to have that wet or that flour dry. I mean the raw flour. Thank you for the word.
Words are hard. They're very
Words
hard.
are
We say
hard.
that around here all the time.
So now we have our milk. So now this is all done. You don't even see the flour. It gets easily mixed in.
And then do you go
gradually.
slowly? Okay.
This is just regular milk?
Regular milk. And if you want to use skim or,
Heavy cream.
no.
Okay.
No.
No, that's just too fatty. It's just
it's
yeah,
gonna be
too
too
much,
much.
too much. Sometimes you can
Okay.
have too much. And then sometimes if you need to add some salt, because we add a little bit, we're gonna add some salt.
Okay.
I call this compliments. You know why?
Why?
Because if you don't use it, you ain't gonna get double negative. No compliments. Okay? Okay. You don't know how to use.
That is hysterical.
If you don't know how to use salt, you need to start because that's where you really start cooking. Okay, come on.
Okay, okay, I'm going.
I just had a little bit there just to make sure I didn't make lumps, and now
Okay,
I think
there
I'm
we go.
okay.
Now we're good. So just
Yeah,
pour
we're
it all
good.
in. And how long before this comes together?
So you'll see it come together. The magic starts to happen when all of a sudden you are stirring this, and then everything comes together, and it gets thick, and then it's like this.
Look at that.
Look at that.
That's so good.
Beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous? You see how thick it gets? That is heat. Heat
Right.
does that. Okay.
Oh my gosh, and you could put that on anything.
Anything.
Oh, it just keeps getting better.
Is this sharp
next
cheddar?
level
What is
stuff.
this?
Yeah.
Sharp cheddar, because this becomes our sauce. This is just like macaroni and cheese. We add a little meat to it and a little tomato, and and come on.
Except it's not
Now-
powdered cheese.
Yeah, this really is.
yeah.
This is my hamburger helper that
Exactly.
my mother would make us from a box. I'm not mad at it at all.
And it was
From
delicious.
scratch, though. Let me ask you this, Carla. I know this book. What are you hoping that people get away from this book as far as what they're going to learn about soul food that they may not know already?
Well, I think the one thing that, thank you so much in doing that. I think the one thing is that soul food, or especially Southern food, is an agrarian cuisine, and people don't think about it. My book has at least 60% of vegetable recipes, and people think of soul food as, I'm not sure in vegetables now, but they think about it like smothered pork chops and macaroni and cheese and grits and all of these fattening foods, but it's also a lot of vegetables because what was cheap? Seeds.
Exactly.
You know, right?
Yeah. So many collards, so many like Swiss.
Okra. Yes.
All that
As you're
stuff.
saying it, it's making a lot of sense
It's
as
so
you're pointing
good.
that out. Yeah, for sure.
Oh my
Well-
gosh. Okay, we have to serve this
Okay, come
because
on.
that looks so good. Bring
We
it
do
over here.
indeed. Serve it up. And as you're serving it, I just want to, this is something that Carla told me, a little piece of advice for people that don't think that they're very good cooking, really. Your piece of advice was?
I'm like, all you need is a blender. I
Just
think
get a blender.
Everybody can cook. Everybody has sustenance. When people say they can't cook, it's because they've been watching television shows and you see all these people who are making fancy things.
Like you.
Honestly, okay, like me. But honestly, if you have a blender, I can teach you to make a soup in 60 seconds.
That is
And
good
Cameron
stuff.
loves
I love
soup.
it. Everybody, Carla Hall's Soul Food is available now. Find this recipe at hallmarkchannel.com. Carla, we love you. Thank you so much.
I love you.
Oh, it brings me back.
Right?
So good.
Get out of the box into the pan. What?